was hard. It's not working. Oh, I'm good. All right. Hard fought game, like we expected. I thought, the difference in the game was their rebounding, which we talked about that. They're a very good rebounding team. Their rebounding, was the difference. The second chance opportunities that they got, whether it was a drive or foul, especially late down, late in the game. And then I just thought offensively, we just 60 points is not enough. And then I thought we missed some easy ones at the end. Some not easy ones, but some shots that we needed to make and we didn't make them. But I think ultimately it just came down to we shot a lot of threes. I think we have that's not a good recipe for us right now, shooting that many threes. But it comes down to rebounding. I mean, the difference, 49 to 28. That's the difference. That was the game right there. We just we have to do a better job battling on the glass. As we move forward. So that was it. Questions?
Red, it was obviously a struggle offensively, but could you talk about down the stretch those last 5 or 6 minutes when you weren't able to get anything to go?
Yeah, we got into the lane. We knew they were in the bonus, so we were trying to get into the lane, put pressure on the rim. Missed a couple pull-ups, a couple of step-throughs, and then we took a couple of shots. In particular, the one we got a transition break where I thought Kyle could have went in and tried to lay it in. He tried to go in and dunk it. We get instead of getting 2 points, we get 1 point. Then I think we get a steal, and then we turn it back over. So just the late game execution. Even though we only had 7 turnovers, I felt like we made 2 or 3 late that were really 2 that were kind of big. But I mean we got we got to pull up. I thought we could have got to the rim. The shots just didn't fall. And again, we all know that it's a make and miss game. I thought we didn't shoot the ball well, but again, the difference was them on the glass, especially late, getting second opportunities.
Adrian, at some points in this game, you had 4 guards in with Malik. What contributed to that decision to take out a forward like Bell or Justin?
Well, at that time, I felt like I wanted to go with a quicker lineup and try to take away some of the penetration. They were getting some penetration, getting some shots. So I was looking at that, and then also a couple of things that I thought Kyle had some toughness. So I kind of wanted to get him in there, and I knew Judah would battle. I know Quade would battle, so I kind of went with that lineup.
Just to kind of follow up on that, with Naheem out for the rest of the year and Benny's gone, is a rebounding an issue you're going to be worried about going in basically every game down the stretch?
It was an issue even when we had those guys. I mean, it wasn't that big of an issue because we had bodies, but obviously, rebounding is definitely going to be an issue for us. It's just what it is. We have to battle more. We have to get 5 guys in there rebounding. Again, we talk about it every game. We got to get our guards in there rebounding. It just can't be one guy. It has to be everybody getting in and rebounding. And today, again, when you see this bigger difference in the numbers and the rebounding, a lot of times it's because we didn't shoot the ball well. We didn't shoot the ball well, so they were able to get some rebounds on that end. But we got to do a better job. I know late, that was the difference. We got them to take some shots, they missed them, and they got the rebound back.
Coach, I was just curious about, there were several instances in the second half where you sent all your guys back on defense in transition and left the free throw shooter up with the Tech guys and missed 1 of 1 on one and then the second of 2 on another. And I think Tech scored on both of those on the other end. Just kind of what's the philosophy there, and was it just to avoid transition, or kind of what were you looking at that point in the game?
This is an interesting question. We were in foul trouble, all right? They had their 2 big guys on the line, and we were small. So, again, I was hoping that we would make both, so we didn't need that. But we didn't. But it was really about getting stops, getting back, setting up, and making sure we didn't break down. Early in the game, The first half of the game they got a good majority of their points in transition. So that was the thing that we wanted to do better. And every now and most of the time when our guys, when we're shooting free throws, unless it's a situation, we typically take our guys off and get them set up for defense.
Coach, I think in 3 of the last 4 games, there's been a lot of zone play. Like against Louisville, it was because they were, poor 3-point shooting team, so you opted for zone. Against North Carolina, you didn't want them to get the ball inside, so zone. So what did you see from Georgia Tech prepping for this game that made you want to play zone for most of it?
Well, obviously our numbers are down. We tried to avoid what happened anyway. Guys fouling out and Malik getting a bunch of fouls. The one thing about Georgia Tech is that they play with great spacing, and they space you out, and they got good guys that can make plays in that short roll situation, and they got guys that can shoot the ball. But for us coming into this game, zone is something that we're gonna have to play just because of our numbers and our man-to-man. We can't be as aggressive as we were in the beginning of the year. With our numbers down.
Yeah, Red, at one point there late in the second half, Chris Bell seemed to have a moment over on the bench. He seemed upset. Quadir's talking to him. What was going on in that moment?
Chris, kind of, he gets upset with himself. All right, he gets upset with himself to the point where we try to, get him back focused on what we need to do. He's very hard on himself, and I can respect that. But we got to move on to the next play, and that's all that all was about. Forgot what happened. I don't know if he missed a shot or something happened, and he was getting hard. He was down on himself, and Quadir was just trying to get him refocused. Thank you.